everyone. So today we are going to be trying out the new e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Foundation. I did pick up two different colors of these to see which one might be the better match for me. So I am really excited to try these out because I really do like a lot of e.l.f.'s foundations. So whenever I saw that they had a new one coming out, I immediately wanted to purchase it and check it out for myself. So this foundation line has 36 different shades in warm, cool, and neutral undertones. So I will pop up a graphic on screen here so you can see what the shade range looks like. Now, without having actually seen every single color myself, if this chart is accurate, it does seem to be a pretty good evenly dispersed color range, which is always something we love to see. Sometimes the number of shades can be a little irrelevant. It really depends on the spread of the shades. And just looking at the graphic, it does seem to be a pretty well diverse range, so that always makes me very happy. And the price of this foundation is $8, which I think is an absolute steal for a foundation these days because drugstore prices just seem to be going up and up and up. And I remember when I started wearing makeup way back in the day, the prices have just skyrocketed at the drugstore, so I always love to see an affordable option, and I have really good track record with e.l.f. foundation, so we're gonna try these out today and I'll let you know everything I think about them. And also, if you guys are not already signed up for the e.l.f. Beauty Squad, you really should. If you are a frequent purchaser of e.l.f. like I am, you can earn points and get discounts and mini products and things like that. It's kind of like its own little Sephora reward system, and I think it's a pretty good one too. So if you guys have not already signed up for the e.l.f. Beauty Squad, you can sign up through my referral link and you get some extra bonus points which will go towards your first discount or mini product purchase. So starting off, I have two different colors of the foundation. I wasn't quite sure which one was going to be more my shade, so I ended up going with two different ones. So the first one I have here is number 14, and this one is Fair Cool. And then I also have number 20, which is Light Cool. So looking at these two in the packaging, they almost look identical, so I'm hoping that's not the case. So we're gonna do a really quick little swatch on my face and see what color might be best suited for me. And another thing I always have a problem with, you guys, is foundations being so yellow toned on me. I feel like it's almost impossible to find a really good matching skin tone for me because everything just looks so orangey and yellow, and there's very few foundations I can wear without having to mix or adjust or modify. Alright, so actually looking at these two colors swatched on my hand, so the top one is number 14 and this one is number 20. So there is just a slight depth in the tone here. And I'm not gonna lie, even with these being cool, they also still just look a little bit yellowy for me, but we're gonna do a quick little swatch on the face here. So this one is number 14, and then we'll take a little bit of 20. All right, so I think, honestly, I kind of feel like the lighter one is a little bit more of a better match for me. So we're gonna go with number 14 today. So I'm just gonna kind of put the little extra all over, and we're gonna do a quick application. And if we need a little bit more, we will add that. And I'm getting back into using a beauty sponge. I've been using a foundation brush for the last several months, and I kind of just go back and forth between what I prefer using, whether it's the sponge or the brush. I enjoy both, but I tend to just kind of go in a cyclical kind of pattern, switching back and forth between the two every few months. And so right now I am back into the beauty sponge era. Now I did go very light on the first pass, so I am going to add a little bit more and see how it builds up. It did overall give me a really nice kind of just like natural kind of base if I, didn't want to go too heavy on the foundation, but I will be adding just a little bit more. And so let's see how this builds up. Alright, so now that I've applied that next layer, it definitely did build up quite nicely. I still think that with using my beauty sponge, it's obviously going to shear it out a little bit more than if you were to use a brush. So it does still have a little bit of like my skin peeking through. If you can see some of my natural freckles kind of right there, I can definitely still see those peeking through. But overall, this does look quite nice on the skin. It looks very skin-like. It's not too caked down or anything like that. that. It just kind of looks like my natural skin, which I do quite enjoy because especially with it being in the warmer summertime months, wearing a whole lot of foundation just is a death sentence for me. So I do really like the finish of this. It is, like I would say, a satin finish, just like it is described. It doesn't have too much dewiness, but it's definitely not a flat matte type of foundation, which I feel like on my skin type just isn't my favorite look because I do have dry skin to begin with, and the matte foundations tend to exaggerate that. This one definitely has a nice little bit of natural finish to it and doesn't look too shiny, but not too matte either. All right, and I'm going to be finishing off the rest of my foundation. I will give you some up close zoom ins so you can really see what the texture of it looks like on my skin and see what the final makeup result looks like. All right, so hopefully you can see. I will turn down the beauty lights in just a moment so you can kind of see the texture of my skin better, but this is how it looks with the lighting on. Here is what it looks like with one of my lights off. And let's turn off the last light. I don't know if you'll be able to see me at all. All right, I don't know if this is helpful or not. This is just like the overhead lighting, so hopefully this helps you just see my skin in a few different lighting conditions, but we're gonna turn the light back on now. All right, so this is how the foundation looks with all of my makeup completed. I've been wearing this for about 30 minutes, I would say, and right now it's about 1:30, so I am gonna wear this for the rest of the day. Obviously, it's not like a full day wear test, but I will try to do a little update, like end of day update, let you guys know what I think about it. I don't really have a whole lot of plans today. I might be going out and running a couple errands, but otherwise I'm probably gonna just be filming some videos today, so I will update you guys in the end clip to just let you know my overall thoughts. But my very first impression of them, I do really like this foundation. The price is absolutely just a perfect price point. The color range seemed to be, in my opinion, pretty good from what I can see online. The shade selections that I got, I think both of these are really good colors for me. At first I was concerned they looked a little bit on the yellow side, but overall, now that I'm seeing like foundation on, makeup on, completed and everything, I feel like it's a pretty good color match for me. So I am pretty happy with those colors that I picked out, and I will definitely be able to use both of these. One thing I forgot to mention at the very beginning, these are a very soft plastic packaging, which I think is great because it's very easy to squeeze out. And if you have any trouble with like fine motor skills with your hands or fingers or arthritis or carpal tunnel or anything like that, these are extremely easy and user-friendly to use. So that was one thing I forgot to mention in the beginning that I really appreciate, because I do have trouble with my hands sometimes with like gripping things and opening things, and I've never quite realized it until now. So using like a hard squeeze tube type of packaging can sometimes be a little bit hard for me to do it sometimes. So if you are comparing it to like the bronzer drops, like this is what I would say is like a hard plastic squeezy type tube. You can still get stuff out of this, but it's not as soft as this. So this is much easier to squeeze product out of. And I also like the soft plastic because when you're at the end of it, you can snip the little top of it off and scoop out all of the product and get everything out of it. So that is another thing I really like about the packaging of this. And I just think it looks like really nice and classy and cute. So overall, I am so far pretty happy with this foundation, and I'm really glad to have purchased it. Now, of course, I will give some more final thoughts when we do the end of day wear test, but overall, I'm pretty happy with this one for my very first impression. So I will insert my final thoughts right now. Hey everyone, so I'm doing my update now. I have been wearing this foundation for 9 hours. It is now 10:30 at night, and I didn't go anywhere today. I was just at my house, but what I hadn't planned on doing was rearranging one of the rooms in my house, and so I was hot and I was sweaty, and I have to say that this foundation actually held up pretty well for 9 hours of wear. It's looking really good. So I'm going to zoom you guys in so you can see the texture of my skin a little bit better, where the foundation wore away, where it didn't, and we'll try to go through some different lighting settings as well. All right, so hopefully you can see this. This is with both of my beauty lights on. Overall, this wore pretty good in my opinion. The only spots that it did kind of really wear away, there is just a little bit of wear around here, but I was sweating quite a bit, and there was a point of time where I just went like this, completely forgetting that I was wearing makeup. So I just did like one of those kind of numbers, so I'm sure it did kind of disrupt the makeup a little bit. But I mean, overall, this is not bad for 9 hours of wear. I think it also did kind of wear just a little bit right here, but I mean, overall, this is still looking pretty good. I also think maybe just a little bit on my chin, it did wear away. So now let me turn off a few of my lights. It is nighttime now, so we'll just see if any of these lightings kind of give you a better idea of what the foundation looks like on me. So that is with one beauty light turned off. All right, and again, I don't know if this is helpful or not, but this is with both of my beauty lights turned off and just the overhead lights on. So you guys, I'm pretty impressed with this foundation so far, and I like it a lot. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Links are below. And until my next video, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.